Turns over Dallas Metro on downs.
Cannot speak to how important a stop like that is for the Georgia middle school program. Neil, as you alluded to, Dallas took the ball, rammed it directly down their throat. We saw a play similar to that in the FBU Freshman All-American Bowl last night, in which a defensive play ended up being a 14-point turnaround.
How about that game last night, the 10th edition of the FBU All-American Bowl, won by Adi 29-14. Great week for all these young student athletes, Chad, as getting to experience this brand new facility. This stadium, which is a cathedral for youth football, isn't even fully complete. A penalty here is going to give some breathing room for GMSAA as they come out on offense. Hudson Marinko, he's the quarterback. And he'll give on the inside handoff for a gain of about 4. Second and short coming up. Quintarius Gibson, so explosive. He's had a great tournament in the quarterfinals and semifinals, gets the opening call.
Classic matchup between the best of Georgia taking on the best of that Texas region, to the most impressive football regions in the country, getting it done.
Marinko. They'll work to the outside, but the Dallas defense is keen to the play.
When you look at this level of football, it's extraordinarily important for the cornerback to be able to come up and support in run, and that's what you're seeing here from Team Dallas. Edge support, essential.
As the quarterbacks are still developing at this level, Chad, you see a lot more run-based offenses, not surprising here in 6th grade. Gibson went for a minimal gain on the last play. A little bit of wildcats. And that carry, well, not much there. The Dallas defense up to the challenge. Jacob Hernandez, who's the slasher of the two. Enough for a first down.
It's a key first down for Georgia middle. Getting the ball around the 1 yard line, they're able to get out of the shadow of their own goalpost.
They are halfway through this opening quarter. 10 minutes. That's what we play here in the FBU National Championship. The 10th anniversary, of course, that will be for the 8th grade game tonight. And it should be a dandy. GFL and Kentucky. GFL and Dallas Metro. The 7th graders will meet coming up a little bit later on at 5 o'clock. So a full slate of games, some holiday football for you. The top youth players in the country on display here in Naples.
With this new stadium, Neil, I'll tell you what, this is really beginning to feel like the Little League World Series of football. Special things being built here along the Paradise Coast.
It is the premier youth football event in the country. So some tough yards gained by Georgia Middle School, but they're out of the shadows of their own goal line after their big defensive stop. Dallas's opening drive. It's Hernandez. Tough running inside, but that's a stout defensive front. They're really based on their defensive ends, this Dallas Metro defense. Deontay Weathers and Javar Currington help collapse that line of scrimmage.
That's exactly what we saw. The Georgia middle team is going to want to run in between and off tackle. If Dallas can stop them there, they can make it difficult for Georgia to move the ball.
Marinko is back at quarterback. He's going to throw, and that pass is complete. Dalton Price, the team's best route runner, has the reception.
It was an excellent route. It's good that you would say that. Working out of that slot position, able to sit down in the middle of the zone. Quarterback put it on his numbers. He catches it, gains a key 3 yards, making this one 3rd and manageable.
3:40 and counting in the opening quarter. GMSAA's first possession, and the fans who have traveled from the Metroplex chant defense. Marinko going to give it to the edge, and this is taken by Gibson. He's going to be close to a first down and has enough to move it for the second first down of the drive. When they want a big play, they go to Gibson.
Gibson did an excellent job of dipping inside before taking it out to the outside. Dallas lost the edge protection on that play, which is what allowed for him to pick up the first down.
It was smooth sailing for GMSAA in the semifinals. They beat Southwest Florida 34-0. Took down Jacksonville in the quarters 30-12. The very first sixth grade edition of this championship was in 2013, the year before the festivities moved to Naples. That was a low snap, but controlled by Marinko, and he's able to nosedive ahead for a few. Second down and 8. Fast-moving first quarter clock.
Impressed by the energy of both of these teams, Neil Sika, as you don't see much in the way of nerves getting in the way thus far.
Yeah, and that can be something that definitely shows up. Someone who's 12 or 13 years old on the big stage. The Dallas Metro defense is ready. Making big plays. That is Braylon Williams.
What a play made by Williams. Backside defensive lineman able to track that play down, make the tackle for loss.
They call him beast mode, and he does it on both sides of the football. You saw us running on the opening drive right as we joined you. But the GMSAA defense threw up a brick wall on the goal line. And despite 2 first downs, they are methodically moving the football right now. It is 3rd and call it 13, and we've got a timeout. With 97 seconds to go in this first quarter. As we're just settling in for a long day of football, Chad, but it's one we always look forward to here at the FBU National Championships.
Of course, beyond this game, which is special in its own regard at the 7th grade level, Neil, as you alluded to, we're going to have GFL taking on Team Dallas. That GFL 7th grade team will be attempting to win their 3rd consecutive FBU National Championship title. Coach Chris Gant, who is a guest of ours on the All-American Bowl, Freshman All-American Bowl pregame show on yesterday. The 8th grade team looking to win their 3rd consecutive from GFL as they will be taking on Kentucky in our premier event tonight.
The 8th grade edition of GFL is trying to become just the 2nd team to win it in a consecutive ascent from 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. The last, North Texas, which merged into this Dallas Metro program. Marinko throws on 3rd and long, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jacob Bly, who's a solid all-around football player, and he shows you why. And the first turnover of the game goes Dallas Metro's way.
Jacob Bly going up, high-pointing that ball and pulling it down. He was in man coverage, dropped into his, and was able to eye the quarterback, go up and pick that off. He's going to give the Dallas offense excellent field position at the 30-yard line.
They are trying to work on a short field, although they know that the GMSAA defense has already showed their mettle, stiffening to stop them. And so at the 30-yard line, out comes the Dallas Metro offense. B.J. Mathis, who's the son, or B.J. Mathis, who's the head coach and the father of the running back Duth Mathis, was mentioning before the game how ready and confident this group is. They have bought in. Quarterback is Alan Trey Williams. We're going to have a delay of game.
Oh, he's good.
Speaking of Deuce Mathis, he is behind Alan Trey Williams. Pistol look here, and they give it to Deuce Mathis. And looks like he may have put it on the ground. As the GMSAA bench pointing that it was a fumble and that they have it, but they're going to spot him down. They're going to say he was on the ground before that popped out.
This Dallas team, as they got down near the goal line, were having issues being able to move the GMSAA bodies out of that interior. That's one way to do it. Threaten with the jet sweep to widen the interior.
Motion again from that pistol look. And tossing it up top, it's caught by Bly. Jacob Bly is gonna go out. Of course, a flag comes out, and they are saying, at least GMSAA is saying, that that should have been offensive pass interference.
Just a little bit of contact on that play. Neil Sika loved to see a receiver willing to do whatever is necessary to get the ball, but he did extend those arms, which goes a little bit beyond hand fighting, so that one's coming back.
Even at the 6th grade level, separation is hard to come by.
Got to give credit to this Dallas offense being willing to open it up and put that one up like that.
So it is second and a trip to the beach after the penalty, which, in case you're wondering, is about 20 minutes away from our location here at the Paradise Coast Sports Complex. More flags fly as this is thrown on a quick hitch to the outside. It falls incomplete. Landon Brazel was the intended receiver.
Dallas, after having excellent field position, moving in the wrong way, Neil Sika.
Our referee today is Rob Mackett, the veteran Naples official. We're going to decline that. Of course, with a false start, you're usually taking it anyway. But we digress. Third down, and call it 35. Trey Williams standing all the way back at his 41. They need to get to the 21 of GMSAA. Brazel, nothing doing.
What a play made. GMSAA sniffed that one out, came up, he got no further. They saw that play a moment ago and they were prepared when Dallas ran it again.
Cole Crawford, his head coach Curtis McGee calls him a beast of a man. One of the best middle linebackers he's seen at this age group. Made sure that you knew his name very early on in this first quarter, which has now come to a close. So 10 minutes in the books, and Dallas, which is +1 in the turnover margin, and moved the ball in the opening drive, still nothing to show for it, as the GMSAA defense has come up big. After one, scoreless here in Naples for the 6th grade FBU National Championship.
One time circle in the block, 2 times, you know how we rock. You know who we knocked on, you know who we shot. You know how we coming, come for nothing I got. Just wanna have fun. Hey baby, tell me when I go. And I'ma leave 'em on the floor.
Second quarter of the 6th grade FBU National Championship begins with a punt by Declan Ham after it was 4th and forever. And it's down at the 19. That's where GMSAA will get their second offensive possession. Chad, they picked up a couple of first downs after the big defensive stand. But then the turnover, the interception Their defense, though, has come to play, and that's been the slugfest through the opening 10 minutes of the game.
I tell you what, Nilsika, especially at a game at this age level, you can see it turn in that third aspect of games, which is special teams. A great snap on that punt and an excellent punt to pin GMSAA back.
Jacob Hernandez in the shotgun, the slashing quarterback. Cuts inside off guard for about 3. Tough to move those big bodies inside. 2nd down and 7 as Hernandez will come out.
Impressed by the way that the Dallas defensive line is holding up thus far. If you know anything about Georgia football, again, you know that they want to run off tackle. They've got the size up front and the speed in the backfield, combinations that not many teams can contend with.
Corian Wilson made the last tackle for Dallas Metro. This give is to Gibson. He's got about 4 more. 3rd and a long 3 upcoming for GMSAA.
You get into a situation here, if you're Georgia Middle, now you have the option to pass or run.
Hernandez gives straight ahead. The D tough inside, right around the 29. It's going to be enough for a 1st down. Right at the sticks. They gave it to the big guy, Lonnie Brown, who's a 3-technique tight end. But he's got the size where if you need a few in short yardage, you give to that guy.
And that's what we saw. It's his second effort is what got him the 1st down. That Dallas linebacking core was able to come up and support the run, but when a young man of that size falls forward, he can get it done.
Two minutes into the 2nd quarter. Hernandez is getting this series right now at quarterback. As they give it off to the big man again, Lonnie Brown, but this time Dallas Metro is ready for it. Justice Wright.
Justice Wright making the play there. Brown attempted to get away, but once Wright had his hands on him, he was going no further.
That's really the interesting dichotomy of watching a 6th grade game. Which line gives first throughout the duration? Teams are playing their 3rd game in 5 days.
And fortunately, Neil, the weather is participating with as well. It's a great day for football.
70 degrees at kickoff with a nice breeze. On 2nd down, gain of 8 on this play. 2nd and 12. It's going to be 3rd and very manageable now for GMSAA.
To your point, Neil, this Georgia Middle offensive line is beginning to get pushed. Those holes are beginning to open up a little bit more. Don't be surprised if they pop one.
Third and 5. Marinko, the other quarterback, is lined up as a wing with Hernandez taking the snap. It's low, got the exchange, and Dallas Metro's defense anticipated it beautifully.
Outside linebacker slashing in. Currington making a play behind the line of scrimmage that'll force a punting situation.
So the Dallas Metro D holds serve. We've played 4 minutes here in this 2nd quarter. As you can see, the game is scoreless. A very opening drive of the game, impressive. 6 runs by Dallas Metro down to the 1, but stuffed on 4th and goal. GMSAA to punt for the first time. Will Barton sends it back, or it's corralled by Brazel. And he's brought down around the 35-yard line, so that's where Dallas Metro will have their third offensive possession.
So impressed thus far by the special teams because these games can turn there. That was a great snap by the long snapper, excellent punt by the punter. All you want to do is to put your offense and defense in positions to be successful as opposed to giving the other team a short field.
Had a wonderful week here in Naples, the paradise of youth football. And a thanks to the Naples CVB. Discover your paradise and the inaugural bowl game host in the stadium. That was last night, the All-American Bowl here at the Paradise Sports Complex. Paradise Coast Sports Complex, which has been a vision for many years, ever since the games moved here in 2014.
Steve Quinn, Football University president, has wanted to see this built for quite some time now, so it is a pleasure to see it come to fruition. In that game last night, Jaden Davis, quarterback, able to earn an invite to the All-American Bowl on NBC off of his impressive performance there. We actually had an opportunity to sit down with an interview with him, so hang around. You may see that at halftime.
I recruited him to be my spotter today, Chad. He's doing a great job. Great game by Jaden last night.
What can't Jaden do? That's what the college coaches around the nation are asking, Neil Sika.
Ferocious comeback from Adidas. That was a fun game, too. Well played. Flags come out on the opening play of this series. Brazell carries, but we'll check the penalty. There have been a few flags in this first half. Dallas Metro, as you see, is in orange. GMSAA in the teal.
Holding penalty going to back this one up. Neil Sika, it's one of the things that I truly enjoy is the fact that at this point, when you see a team come from a region, they're going to have on this color jersey that represents the region that they come from. So if you see that burnt orange, you know that they came from the Texas region. You see that teal, they're a Georgia region team or a Southeast region team. Really lets people know what portion of the country that the teams are representing.
So basically you're telling me my eyes are set for the next two games. That's a long pass over the top that goes incomplete. Looking for Jacob Bly, who is their big play receiver. He's also got a pick so far in this game.
Hang out around, and yes, in the 7th grade game, you will see the same two jerseys. In the 8th grade, gets a little dicey as Kentucky will come through in the all-white.
Kentucky 6, when we did the social media media row, if you want to call it, a few days ago, they were wearing the Miami Vice colors.
They were in the regional rounds. Regional rounds.
I vote to keep those through.
I love those Miami Vice jerseys. I really did.
Trey Williams to throw it on 2nd and 20, and it's incomplete. Well, it's broken up in coverage. Brian Hill, who's their best 1v1 defender, and look at how mighty he is. Not all that big, but excellent ball skills.
Great pass by the quarterback. Put it up to Deontay Weathers. Weathers would like to have another opportunity at that one. Credit to the quarterback.
They've targeted Bly, but you just mentioned Weathers, Chad, and he is their big play receiving threat. And if he hauls that in, who knows? We may be talking right now about an extra point try, but it is 3rd down and 20. And a timeout by Dallas Metro with 5:03 remaining here in the first half. Scoreless game, the 6th grade FBU National Championship. It was North Texas, which was absorbed into Dallas Metro. They won the very first edition of this title. GMSAA, coached by Curtis McGee, who played at Georgia Tech, was an All-American there. A couple of years in the old NFL Europe with the Frankfurt Galaxy.
Neil, I used to watch those games.
Remember those games?
I used to watch the Barcelona Dragons.
That's right.
How about that?
Rhine Fire, Scottish Claymores.
Kurt Warner.
Yes.
Didn't Kurt play over there?
The outlet, absolutely he did. There's outlet for so many guys that the last 5-6 years, Chad, you've seen the attempts to have spring football seasons, but was one of the more premier development leagues to at least get guys reps trying to make the NFL. That will fall incomplete as they look to set up a screen on 3rd and forever. Well, both teams have put themselves into inauspicious positions with the penalties.
It's a good-looking play setup there as Dallas did a great job inviting the Georgia middle rush, and he dropped it off. Had the running back been able to corral it, he had some space in front of him. Bryson Deuce Mathis doing an excellent job, just couldn't quite get his hands on it.
So the second punt in a row coming up for Declan Ham. And it's over his head, the snap. Ham will fall on it. Also in there was Marinko. He may have come up with the football in the end. No matter, it's going to GMSAA, and they are in a glorious position after the snap going over the head of the punter.
And that's where it is, Neil Sika. I'll tell you what, even at the 8th grade level, saw a game turn on just that the other night. Team Kentucky was able to take advantage of Team Indiana with a couple of long snaps that went over the heads. We believe in long snapping here at FBU and the FBU National Championship Tournament. That long snapper, that young man will have better ones throughout today's game.
Hernandez comes out to lead the offense. He'll take it himself. Looking for room on the outside. Hernandez is going to go out just short of the pylon and put this at 2nd and goal from the 2. Hernandez, a true leader, as coach says of him.
Excellent job bouncing on that play. He was able to break containment.
2nd and goal from the 2. Coming up on 4 minutes remaining in the half. That's a direct snap right to Lonnie Brown. He's fighting for a crease, but there's nothing there. The interior linemen of Dallas Metro have been getting the job done so far in this first half.
You see big DeCorian Wilson over there. Nothing gets beyond him. Georgia middle, they had a goal line stand. Let's see if Dallas can present one themselves.
So it is 3rd down. Yards have been tough to come by on the ground, really for both teams. That one big gainer of 25 yards, the longest rush, that was Braylon Williams of Dallas on the opening drive. Timeout to talk about it from Dallas Metro. 3:48 remaining in the half, so a crucial play upcoming here, and perhaps even the next 2, Chad, if they're not able to punch it in on 3rd down.
We look at the ability to turn negative plays into points. The snap over the punter's head. Georgia middle gets the ball in excellent field position. We'll see if they can make that 6. Dallas had an opportunity off of an interception. They went backwards. Can Georgia middle capitalize?
For the athletes who give everything, nothing beats Gatorade, the studied, tested, and proven fuel of the world's greatest athletes. Nothing beats Gatorade, the proven sports fuel of the FBU National Championship. This is the 6th grade game. Neil Sika, Chad Ricardo. Scoreless first half. GMSAA knocking on the door with 3:48 remaining in the opening 20 minutes. The snap is low, and the Dallas D is ready for it in the backfield again.
Deontay Weathers, we saw him with an opportunity to make a big play on offense. He makes a big play on defense. Setting the edge, had the hesitation from the quarterback, and came up and tracked him down.
Could it be? Could we see a 2nd goal line stand already in this championship game? This time, Dallas trying to provide that sequence. So 4th down. Hudson Marinko taking the play from the sideline. They've got a lot of options. Gibson, Caden Dawson lined up in the backfield. What will they call here? GMSAA is going to spend another timeout. It seems like each team's had unlimited timeouts the way this half is going.
You know what, Neil? If you're going to have a game in which you get a bevy of timeouts, this is the one to do it. Championship football.
That's right. Every play so crucial. GMSAA overcoming an interception. Dallas Metro, a good opening drive, a short field. They haven't been able to find any points, though. Their 7th graders will be on display a little bit later this afternoon. And then GFL, the creme de la creme, the program that, by all the programs that really have been judged through the 10 years of the FBU National Championship, they're 7th graders at that grade level looking for their 3rd straight title. That's coming up just after 5, but we've got a good one brewing here. Trying to get ready for play with Dawson. And where's number 5? Marinko. The quarterback sends a man in motion. He's going to throw it. And that is too tall. They tried on the slant, and Dallas Metro's defense with a goal line stand of their own, and they take over with 2:53 left in the half.
Looking for Grant Haviland, a very nice play called design by Georgia Middle. Brought a wide receiver in motion, identified that it was man coverage. Marinko threw that slant up just a little bit high. Dallas defense holds.
There was good pressure inside too. Marinko tried to deliver it, but the defenses have told the story here in the first half, and there's still some time if Dallas Metro, they've not been shy on going for the home run, but we'll see if they play it a little conservative here right on the goal line.
In the shadow of their own goal line. Georgia Middle did a great job as they were in this position earlier in the game. Nil Sika, for anyone just tuning in, their ability to pick up 2 first downs just to get it out of the danger zone was key.
Yeah, flip the field a bit. We've got movement. It's a false start on Dallas Metro. Half the distance, which is about half a yard. And on first down, just trying to find any room to operate. GMSAA, excitable sideline, thinking they may have stopped the run in the end zone, but they're going to give him forward progress.
Attempting to go off of that right side, no room as Julian Brown came up to make a play.
Need to be careful here if you're Dallas.
Dallas in a precarious situation. Again, at this point, the snaps are key.
Trey Williams going to throw. Looking long. Got his man.
What a throw and catch.
Deontay Weathers. There's that big play target through the air as a flag coming in. That was at the tail end of the play, but not gun shy from what seemed like the end of the earth for Dallas. And they come up with 37 big yards and can breathe.
Dallas, they're a proficient passing team. Again, Weathers was close to reeling in one a few plays ago. He makes the play there. Flipping the field, Dallas on the move.
That was holding on GMSAA, naturally declined, so a big get. And now a run inside by Brazil.
Very well defended by the Georgia Middle team. The jet sweep as Dallas attempted to cut that back, but Georgia Middle not fooled.
They're in bit of hurry-up mode here with 90 seconds left in the half. Two longest plays from scrimmage in this game have Both been courtesy of Dallas. Trying to have those elusive first points. Inside, it's Deuce Massis. Those guys, even though diminutive in size, it's hard to see for the linemen to get their mitts on them.
Very difficult to run inside the tackles on Georgia middle. Dallas has had success testing the outside thus far. We'll see if the play callers begin going to that more.
As Donovan Smith, Warren Sapp-like in his movements, made the stop. They wanted to pull a quick trigger here.
I'll tell you what, Neil Seeger, that's going to come back for a false start, but this Dallas team, they're willing to put it up.
As someone who has watched a lot of 6th grade FBU national championships through the year, I applaud the gunslinging mentality that Dallas is bringing here this afternoon. 46 seconds left in the half. So the false start, though, is going to make this 3rd and 15. And if we've learned anything so far about Trey Williams, he'll spin it around the yard, but they go a little conservative here with the draw. Deuce Mathis got about 3 yards and then got corralled. Julian Brown helping to make the tackle for GMSAA. And Battaglia, whose dad is one of the coaches, the linebacker, helping to make the stop. 21 seconds left.
Dallas committed to the run. They would like to be able to get that going here, especially in a precarious situation as that 3rd and long there. It's a safe thing. Keep the ball on the ground, punt it away, get into the halftime safely. But again, special teams. Actually, they're going.
Well, they're lined up here. I think they knew the clock was moving, and Chad, they had the high snap on the punt the last time around, so don't want to risk it. Doesn't matter. They play it safe, and they play it to the locker room with the scoreless first half in the 6th grade FBU National Championship, a defensive slugfest with 2 goal line stands, 1 per team. A good one here, and it's all to play for. Who's taking the belt, GMSAA or Dallas? 6th grade FBU National Championship here on the FBU National Championship YouTube stream.
Is more than just the home of the FBU National Championships. We're also the home of endless natural beauty and wild adventures. The home of holes in one and one-of-a-kind dishes. The home of incredible comebacks and just plain kicking back. So come discover a sports paradise and play well. In Naples, Marco Island, and the Everglades.
Circle in the block, 2 times, you know how we rock. You know who we knocked on, you know who we shot. You know how we come for nothing I got. We just wanna have
Florida's Paradise Coast is more than just the home of the FBU National Championships. We're also the home of endless natural beauty and wild adventures. The home of holes in one and one-of-a-kind dishes. The home of incredible comebacks and just plain kicking back. So come discover a sports paradise and play well. In Naples, Marco Island, and the Everglades.
Circle in the block, 2 times, you know how we rock. You know who we knocked on, you know who we shot. You know how we come for nothing I got. Just wanna have fun. Hey baby, tell me when I go. And I'ma leave them on the floor. Circle in the block, 2 times, you know how we rock. You know who we knocked on, you know who we shot. You know how we come for nothing I got. Just wanna have fun. Hey baby, tell me when I go. And I'ma leave them on the floor.
The gorgeous Paradise Coast Sports Complex here in Naples. Neil Sika, Chad Ricardo, ready to start the second half of the 6th grade FBU National Championship. It is scoreless between Georgia Middle School and Dallas. A defensive slugfest, but Chad, both teams had their opportunities, knocking literally right on the front door at the goal line.
Spirited first half, and both of these defenses, when they were called upon inside the 10-yard line, they showed up, showed out, and kept the opposition out of the end zone.
GMSAA, a runner-up in 2013 at this grade level, 6th grade. Their 7th graders lost in the championship in 2017. The 8th graders lost last year to Inland Empire. They won the toss and deferred, so they'll receive the second half kickoff. Declan Ham, who's punted once, had the second attempt go over his head. That was the play that led to Dallas Metro's defensive stand. As GMSAA couldn't punch it in. Ham kicks off, and it's fielded by Caden Dawson. And Dawson searching for room. There's going to be excellent field position here for Georgia Middle School to start right near midfield, and they'll bring the offense out.
Thus far, I've been impressed by Hudson Marenko, Neil. his ability to put the ball on target to his receivers. Georgia Middle has had a challenging time finding rushing room. We'll see if they put the ball in Marinko's hands more often.
The only pass attempt they had, or the second pass attempt they had, was the one that was incomplete on 4th down and 1. So Hudson Marinko got a very nice arm, gives to Quintarius Gibson. This is the man they want to get going. Tries to hit the edge. But the lateral side to side, both the techniques of these teams defensively have been excellent, and the way they cover the field is equally impressive. Just a couple there for Gibson.
But for those of you watching at home, Gibson with a Henry like stiff arm, sending the defender to the ground. Gotta love a good stiff arm from a running back. Didn't get him any more yards, Neil, but maybe later on in the game.
A TD waiting to happen. That's what his coach, Curtis McGee, says of him. 2nd and 8. Second play from scrimmage here in the 3rd quarter. The pass going Gibson's way. This time to the far side is incomplete.
Knocked away by Deontay Weathers as he recognized that play and was able to get a hand on it.
Weathers is doing it on both sides of the ball. Jacob Bly. He's got an interception. Got a reception. They had the big pass play to Weathers to get them out. The shadow of the goalposts. And then the half came to an end. So 3rd and 8 on a low snap. Hernandez. They're going to halt this play before it gets going, and a false start.
Movement along the front line, what was already going to be 3rd and long becomes that much more difficult.
So 3rd down and 13. This has also kind of been the tale, Chad. Some penalties at inopportune times. See a little bit of momentum, maybe starting to build a 1st down or 2, and then you're set off schedule by a marker.
We've seen both teams get this good field position, and like you said, Neil, a couple of penalties. They start heading into reverse and then get into these 3rd and long situations, which are the danger zone.
Hernandez, the quarterback. GMSAA is confused. And that's going to be a delay of game. The flag came in from the back judge.
And if I'm Georgia Middle, I'd rather have a delay of game as opposed to rushing through the play and potentially having a turnover that could change the complete direction of this game.
Yeah, they don't want to essentially burn a timeout here so early in this 2nd half. 9 minutes remaining. We're just underway in the 3rd quarter.
Back them up 5 yards, stay safe.
Hernandez gonna heave it and looking for Caden Dawson. That'll fall incomplete.
I tell you what, Georgia Middle made the decision not at all to stay safe. They were going for it all on that play. Wide receiver had a step, unable to connect. Nice route run by Dawson.
It's been a while, Chad. I have to go back in the archives to recall a game scoreless this late into it.
Neil Sika, in national championship history, if anyone can go that far back into the archives, it is you, my friend.
Well, I haven't seen overtime at this 6th grade level. We're a long way from that, but defenses are holding serve. This punt is going to be fielded by Jerry Outhouse Jr. He's in the Bama hat. But he's bottomed out at the 29. That's good punt coverage from GMSAA. Cole Crawford has made a couple of plays defensively. He's down there, one of the first to make the tackle.
Tremendous special teams by Georgia Middle. I know I've said it a couple of times, but I'll say it throughout the rest of this game. At this age level, particularly, special teams can be what ends up in a win or a loss. Georgia Middle flips the field, makes the tackle on a dangerous punt returner.
Dallas out for their first series of the second half at the 29. With a full house backfield. They give to Javar Currington. He's right in the middle of that pile at the end for only a gain of 2.
It's that old T formation Dallas had there, unable to get to the edge. Georgia Middle securing it.
Another look at an offset wishbone. And running from danger is Trey Williams.
It's a nice fake on that play. The fake handoff fooled us all, allowing for Edwards to get to the outside, but could not turn the corner either.
So 3rd down and 8. Dallas has not been shy looking down the field.
There's a slight breeze blowing here, Neil. We'll see if that affects Dallas's deep pass mentality.
Trey Williams, before he lets it rip, gonna go back a few yards. Still waiting on the final verdict.
Looks like they're counting the players on the field.
Third and 13 after the 5-yard infringement.
One extra lineman on the field for Dallas. And I tell you what, Neil, when you're having issues moving the ball, why not put an extra lineman on the field?
I think both these teams, Chad, feel that way. It's been tough sledding for the offenses. Quads to the near side of your screen. That's thrown up for grabs and picked off by Gibson. A huge block springs the run down the sideline. Quintarius Gibson, for the moment, is in the end zone, but a flag is standing back at the 40.
And that is one of those penalties that we are seeing everywhere in youth and even professional football at this point. You cannot make that crackback block. In old school football, it was the type of thing that people celebrated, but now safety comes first. Take the points off the board.
So the Gibson interception and the nice return, all for naught. The interception, of course, stands, and from where Dallas was on the field, it basically plays like a punt. And Georgia Middle School has excellent field position.
We see Dallas again there, putting the ball up, trusting Weathers. He's the young man that they're attempting to get the ball into the hands of. He just could not quite get to that pass.
So at the 41, this is where Georgia Middle School starts their second offensive possession of this third quarter. A turnover apiece for each team. Jason Hernandez ready to run the show. Both these offenses have been basically stuck in neutral. And it's become choppy, to say the least, with these penalties. That's another false start. The third of the game on GMSAA.
When the flow of the game is challenged in that way, it does make it more difficult on the offenses.
On a low snap, and Hernandez just has to eat it. They're going the wrong direction. The penalty, the false start, and now the low snap.
It's those types of plays that lead us to this 0-0 score, and you got to wonder, Nilsika, as we are now midway through the third quarter, just about when that pressure will start kicking in on these young men. Who can overcome it? That'll be who wins this game.
Marinko with another low snap, and he's swallowed up. Dallas was basically in the backfield.
Dallas saw Georgia Middle overload. They put multiple receivers to the right-hand side. That Dallas defense did the same. They loaded up on the left side of their defense, blitzed the gap, and they were in the backfield by the time the ball arrived.
It looked like Justice Wright and DeCorian Wilson.
Marinko had no chance.
Third and 28. What will they call here? Marinko. It's going to look long, and it's incomplete.
Looking for Dawson. Nilsika, he almost had him again. Dawson ran through the Dallas defense, had a step. That ball just outside of the reach of his hands.
And I think both sidelines, they're holding their collective breath, Chad, on these third and long situations, because they're just going to send a guy on a go route, and they've
Put it
really
up.
completed it each time, yeah. The one catch outside on those big plays going to Deontay Weathers right at the end of the half. 6:04 remaining here in the third. Another punt coming up. It's away. And back to field it is Deuce Mathis.
Whew.
Again, excellent special teams. Dawson down there, Cole Crawford down there. And Dallas will start at their own 20.
Kate Dawson making plays, but I tell you what, that snap and then that punt, those are the things that make Chris Rubio and Chris Saylor happy as they watch this game from home. Special teams play.
You give
Very
credit,
good.
Yeah, you give credit to Will Barton, too, for getting that kick off. A timeout here with 5:54 on the change of possession. The FBU National Championship is presented by Wilson. For athletes to perform their best, they require the best. The official ball of the NFL and the NCAA. Learn more at wilson.com. Neil Sika, Chad Ricardo. We've had a steady breeze as we're coming up on Christmas time. Hope you're enjoying your holiday with some of the best youth football around. The FBU National Championship. And a stalemate here in the 6th grade title tilt between Dallas and Georgia Middle School. Dallas back with the football. Second possession here in the second half. Isn't much inside for Deuce Mathis.
Swallowed up by the interior of that Georgia Middle defense. Taj Saragba making the tackle. This is the beauty of the defensive line of Georgia Middle. They keep rotating in, stud after stud to stop the run.
The way this thing's going right now, Chad, you're looking at maybe one score, and that might possibly do it. The way these defenses have played. Trey Williams on the outside hitch. Fly caught it, but didn't have much.
Kamani Adams able to come up and make the tackle. When you're looking at a cornerback, whether it's at this level or the higher ones, you got to be able to tackle in space. Adams making the play. Another third and long, Neil Sika.
Dallas trying to win their second title at this grade level. Last coming in 2013, the first year. That snap is dropped. Trey Williams just took his eye off of it, and that's the fall on it for safe harbor.
And you could see him, as soon as that ball hit his hands, he wanted to get it out. He liked what he saw on the right-hand side, but a lack of concentration for just a second, costly, as now Dallas brings the punt team back out. The Georgia Middle fans start to block that kick chant.
I think you can look at total offense in this second half for both teams, starting with a minus. That's the way it's gone. The defenses are getting better as the game has progressed. There have been some penalties. They bring pressure and nearly got to Ham. Incredible job just to get it away.
Look at the ice water in the veins of Ham. He had 2 or 3 Georgia Middle student athletes bearing down on him, got that punt away, and it was a dandy.
But they flipped the field, and they're in great shape at the 41, coming out with 3:40 remaining here in the third quarter.
The way this Dallas defense has been able to play, that's all that you're looking for. Look to give them a longer field to play with and see if they can continue to bottle up the Georgia Middle offense.
Georgia Middle so close so many times. Well, they have a lot of respect for GFL. Don't think it doesn't resonate that they want a trophy of their own. On the give ahead, a solid run. That was great interior blocking, and Kamani Adams made the most of it. He's got a healthy 7 on first down.
As one of the better holes that we've seen the Dallas offensive line be able to create over there off of the left-hand side.
You can sense this is maybe the critical drive in the football game. Marinko. He'll give. Dallas is ready for it. Chase Alves right there in the backfield was the first to make contact.
Excellent job by Alves to be able to shoot that gap. A play similar to the one that Georgia Middle had just run, this time Dallas not fooled. On this brand new luxury turf on the hottest days. Stays 10 to 15 degrees cooler. Done with those rubber pellets too. On a low snap, Marinko on 3rd and 8 with a throwback screen to Dawson. Caden Dawson on a brilliant play design is going to the end zone. Touchdown, Georgia Middle School. What a play design by Georgia Middle. I tell you what, Nilsika, Dallas blitz from the weak side. That screen went directly where the Dallas blitz was coming from. When Dawson caught it, there was nobody there. Touchdown, Georgia Middle.
Caden Cool, and Georgia Middle School breaks the ice. 6-0. 2:16 to play in the third quarter.
Gotta feel good for the young man, Cade Dawson. Again, on a couple of those big throws, he was close to coming up with one, and he's made plays on special teams. Now he's got himself a touchdown.
Doing it in all 3 phases. On defense, you mentioned his work on the punt team. And now hitting pay dirt on a 38-yard touchdown pass. Marinko is throwing, but a flag with illegal shift or motion there. That seems to be the call.
Another nice play design. Hudson Marinko, you know, he completed a pass in the first half, and again, his arm has looked good all game long. Even on the one that he was intercepted on, he's starting to make some hay.
I like his poise, Chad. I think it's pretty evident. We've seen him under some tight situations, throwing over a big line. He's made the plays.
Playing well under duress.
Will spot it with that penalty. Call it the 7. Marinko. And again, with a man in motion, they're going to get a false start. Georgia Middle School saying what?
Those 2 penalties are going to make this conversion just a little bit challenging, Nilsika.
That's where if you've got the leg of a guy like Will Barton, do you maybe bring him out to try the extra point?
You know, I would have considered that after the first penalty. Now at this point, you're likely looking for the length of Caden Dawson. We'll see if Marinko doesn't just throw it up to him.
Yeah, that's a good observation. Hudson Marinko lofting it for Dawson. He's got it. And the conversion is good.
You know, Neil Sika, I heard that they're playing Tony Romo about $20 million for that right there. Is that what that was?
That was like a long homework assignment, Chad, and finally it's completed. Georgia Middle School with the big deuce to add after the touchdown. So Dawson on the throwback screen, and then the 2-point conversion, 8-0.
Hudson Marinko showing his moxie, showing his bravado, and now all of the energy is on the sideline of Georgia Middle as well as we have a penalty.
Is that a sideline warning?
I believe the call was unsportsmanlike. I didn't see what it was as a result of, but as a result of something. One of the great things that we're doing here, especially today, Neil, is that student athlete such as Caden Dawson, he makes a big time play like that, and I believe that he was interviewed by our sideline, Alex Benson, so you can check that out on social media as well.
Alex equipped his attire today so he could be on the move. He's going to be chasing down a lot of stars. Doing a great job.
Find those on Instagram at Football University, on Twitter at FBUNC.
And of course, this is our FBU National Championship YouTube stream. Glad you're aboard. 6th grade FBU National Championship, first of 3 here from the Paradise Coast Sports Complex. 8-0 as Georgia Middle School finally breaking through. They did it courtesy of great field position. Their defense has been stifling.
What a kick that was as well, through the back of the end zone at the 6th grade level. You gotta love it.
Caden Dawson, a man made for all seasons and all positions, has the touchdown. And the chance of defense from the Georgia faithful with 2:16 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Still plenty of time for Dallas, but they need to get the offense in gear. Outside of that opening drive, they haven't had much at all. And coming through, they brought some pressure, and Brazil goes nowhere.
They have had difficulty running on the interior of the Georgia Middle defensive line really since that opening drive, Neil. Getting the ball up top has been their best offense, but right now you're backed up. Do you want to take that chance?
Loss of 2. Trey Williams, whose given name is Allen, trying to conjure up a tying score. A little bit better here from Brazil, who stayed patient before he was tackled by Cassius Birch.
Kennedy Green also able to get in on the action there, closing down the Russian lanes. Looks like 3rd and long. This is Deontay Weathers' time.
He's got one big catch today for 37 yards. It was right before the end of the half. Two-way threat, down to a minute here in the 3rd quarter. We're going to have an offside call. Line up in that neutral zone is Georgia Middle School. From 3rd and 9 to 3rd and 4.
That could be costly. Makes this conversion far more manageable.
It's the 8th penalty today on Georgia Middle School. Here's the flare to the outside. And across the 30, it's going to be enough. It looks like for a first down, a flag once more as the play concludes.
I tell you what, Deuce Mathis, what I love the most about him on that play, if they are able to convert, is he knew where he was on the field. He had great field awareness. As opposed to attempting to put on a move, he lowered his shoulder, pushed forward, picked up a first down, and with the penalty, it's going to be a lot more.
Is that a targeting call, Chad? It looked like our official, Rob Mackett, was signaling contact to the head. Big one, 15 yards and out to the 45, so some fresh air for Dallas. Trying to respond after Georgia Middle School's touchdown. Brazel, nothing. He is slippery, but there's Caden Dawson, who's got serious MVP vibes at the moment.
And Neil Sika, has any young man made a bigger name for himself than Dawson has here in this game thus far? He's making plays everywhere.
Could be the last play of the third quarter. Should be. Low snap. And that out route again. Just a quick freeze of the defense, but Georgia Middle School's defended it well all game long, and they're going to take an 8-0 lead into the fourth quarter here at the 6th grade FBU National Championship. The final 10 minutes before our first belt here from Naples.
One time circle in the block, 2 times, you know how we rock. You know who we knocked on, you know who we shot. You know how we come for nothing I got.
Third and 14 on the opening play of the fourth quarter, and a pass over the middle from Trey Williams. He's got Deontay Weathers. It'll bring up 4th and short, but that got him into business territory, and they needed it in a big way, Chad.
Mama, there goes that man. Deontay Weathers able to run a good crossing route just behind the linebackers. He knew that he was going to take a hit, but he held on to it.
4th, and call it a long 3. Williams. Miscommunication on the route, and the pass goes incomplete. Georgia Middle School takes over. One running a fly, and it falls at the feet of Jackson Pounds. It's going back to the team in teal.
Looked like Williams anticipated his wide receiver running to the sticks and stopping. He was going to put it on him. Nice looking ball, but it falls incomplete. Georgia Middle with the lead. Neil, you've been talking about this all game long. They've been close as an organization. Now they're knocking on the door to winning their first title.
They're set up well right at midfield. They'll bring Cole Crawford and Dawson in motion. And following that way is Marinko. nicely designed call and a healthy 7 yards on first down as they try and break out of the pile.
Hudson Marinko now showing off the diversity in his game. We've seen him putting the ball up in the air. Now he's showing what he can do with his legs as well.
Well, they have two great quarterbacks. I think that's an added dimension. Marinko, his ability to maybe keep the defense off schedule or guessing. Hernandez has been there as a primary runner.
I'll tell you what, Hudson Marinko says, don't keep my name out of the MVP conversation quite yet.
Calming influence, Gibson. He's gonna motor forward, gonna be near another first down. It's gonna be enough.
That's push off of the left side of that Georgia middle offensive line. As this offense gets to rolling at this level, who's going to make a play from that Dallas defense to stem the tide?
Quintarius Gibson moves the sticks. Coming up on 8 minutes remaining in the championship. 6th grade FBU title tilt, Georgia Middle School in Dallas. They give to Gibson again, and his cutback is a good one to get him about 5 before he's met by Javar Currington.
As opposed to being contacted initially behind the line of scrimmage, you see this Georgia middle offensive line pushing them back so the backs are first being touched 3-4 yards down the field. That's how you end up popping a big one.
They made some key adjustments up on the front lines to combat with some of the blocking you were just referencing. Marinko goes with a pistol look here. Sends Dalton Price in motion. Gives ahead to the big man, Lonnie Brown. And Brown surging near the first down marker again, around the 30. It's enough.
The Dallas defense is making the adjustment as they shift to the Georgia middle power. And Georgia is subsequently running to the weak side where the Dallas is not as adept at the linebacker position, and they're able to find room. We'll see if they continue to do that.
Marinko has made good decisions all game long. This trying to hit the home run and spring free is the run down to the 16-yard line.
It's a good-looking run by Georgia Middle in that whole quick cut.
It was Kamani Adams, a sprightly slot back. It is winning football time here in the fourth quarter, and Georgia Middle School is on the move, leading 8-0 with 6:52 left and a third first down on this drive.
They're starting to feel it, Neil. You know, they know that with another few yards, they can put this game out of reach.
FBU National Championship presented by Soldier Sports, a clean, tough American company specializing in elite men's and women's apparel and sports performance. $6:52 remaining. 8-0. This drive started at the 49 in their own territory. Marinko gives to Gibson. On the outside, Gibson to the end zone.
What a play call again. We see them go with the dual wide receivers to the open field. Dallas shifts their defense. They get the handoff to the weak side. They got the edge with a great block by the left tackle, and to the end zone, Gibson goes.
Marinko knew it as soon as he handed it off. Quintarius Gibson shows his explosiveness around end for a 24-yard touchdown run.
The game of football is all about adjustments. The adjustment that Georgia Middle has made to begin exposing the weak side of the field paid off on that drive.
play for two. Terry Adams bowling forward, he's in. And the conversion is good. And your new score, Georgia Middle School 16, Dallas nothing.
They're starting to feel it in the stands now. The Georgia Middle program, they've been waiting for this moment for quite some time. They've been the bridesmaid, the runner-up a few times. They're now looking to be the bride.
3 times at separate grade levels, 6th, 7th, and 8th. And the crowning achievement is in sight, 6 minutes and 46 seconds away. 16-0, 2 touchdowns within 5 minutes of each other.
Listen, as obviously as we know, it's not over for this Dallas team. They have shown the ability to be explosive. Trey Williams, he can put the ball up. They've got Weathers. They've got a couple of other weapons who can go get it.
On the Will Barton kickoff, it's taken by Deuce Mathis. He's going to go out just shy of the 30-yard line. They have the playmakers to do it, as you just referenced. Can they do it in 6:38 and with an offense that's finally got it churning in Georgia Middle School?
It'll definitely take a quick strike. Trey Williams has shown the arm strength to get it out there. Can they connect? Weathers not in the game.
He's a key component of their passing game. Now he comes in. Lined up in the slot. Trey Williams feels the pressure. Over the middle, it's caught. Maxwell Miles has the reception. But is there a penalty down? The penalty marker is down. It's a hold, and it's a huge one.
That's unfortunate. That takes away a very good-looking route and an excellent throw. Great touch on that throw from Williams. The hold going to take the completion off the board.
Now looking back, Chad, you think about those plays just out of reach in the passing game. The one with the big breakup in the secondary by Brian Hill.
Even the interference call in which
Absolutely.
Dallas thought that they had hit one early.
GMSAA wants to talk about it. Make sure they're in the right setup. Protecting a 16-0 lead with 6:25 remaining here in the 4th. The 7th grade championship is coming up just after 5 o'clock. GFL, their neighboring association in Georgia, these Georgia middle schoolers. They'll be playing Dallas Metro from the 7th grade. And then the marquee game in youth football comes at 7:30. 8th grade national championship featuring GFL trying to win their 4th title at that grade level against Kentucky in their very first championship appearance. The FBU National Championship powered by Adidas. 16-0. 1st and 20. Williams. And the short completion finds Jacob Bly. Gain of 3. 2nd down and 17.
Another great tackle made by the cornerback in space.
Got a timeout here. GMSAA Burns, I believe, is their 2nd.
You know, those preventative timeouts. If you don't feel as though you're in the right coverage, especially with the 2-score lead, go ahead and call a timeout. Head over to the sidelines and talk about it. Don't give up anything. Right? Leave nothing to chance.
Neil Sika, Chad Ricardo, Alex Benson along for the ride. And our crew from ITC Media. Glad you're aboard with us. 6th grade FBU National Championship. This is the 8th edition of the 6th grade tournament. All but one have been played right here on the Paradise Coast in Naples. That was the first one, 2013, where GMSAA last made a title appearance. They lost to North Texas, which is now known as Dallas. That team was a special one. But GMSAA, they win here today, Chad. They may set themselves on a course for a special run.
This team has been getting close. They've been, listen, the issue for Georgia Middle is making it out of their region when they've got a squad as strong as GFL that they have to go through every year. They've done that at one level the last couple of years. We'll see what they can build upon from there.
That's a great point. It is not easy sledding to get out and down here to championship week. 3rd and 13. Williams' pass is complete.
Look at Dawson. Neil Sika, look at Dawson all over the field, making plays. He reminds me of a young man that plays for GFL, Cannon Golden, who makes plays just like that on both offense and the defensive side of the ball. The two of them should get together and share notes.
We're going to see him coming up a little bit later. I believe he was the MVP in the championship last year.
Last year he was. Last year Cannon Golden caught a couple of touchdown passes. Came out this year. That 8th grade GFL squad is so talented that the MVP from last year hardly even plays offense anymore. He's just a defensive specialist. They've got weapons everywhere.
Brent Voiles is their head coach. I mentioned Chris Gant. He leads the 7th graders. The great Ken Burge, who's won more tournament games than anyone in history, but they're competitive foes from Georgia Middle School. They're knocking on the door of their first championship here at the 6th grade level. Looking long on the heave on 4th down. It's incomplete.
Williams showed tremendous courage there to sit in the pocket. Then he slid up, slid through, navigated the pocket, showed a good arm to put that one about 50 yards in the air. He just could not find a receiver on the other end.
But Dallas is bailed out on a roughing the passer call. And so Georgia Middle School, thinking they could melt the game away, Dallas still has a glimmer of hope.
Huge penalty.
I think they called it on DJ Rumpf. He's very aggressive at the defensive tackle position. Had a great tournament. Dallas wants to talk it over. They're trailing by 2 scores, 16-0 here in Naples. NoSweat is a proud sponsor of FBU. It's the premier headwear liner that improves performance on the field while increasing safety by removing distractions from sweat. NoSweat, a proud sponsor of Football University. Five minutes left. A late 3rd quarter touchdown. Caden Dawson on a throwback screen against the blitz. The play of the game so far. Hudson Marinko delivering the goods, and then really a march to glory on the next possession, running it right down the throats of the Dallas defense, and then Gibson running it in from 24 yards out. We're gonna have a false start here.
This game at the end of the day so often comes down to coaching. Tremendous halftime adjustments made by the offensive play calling staff on this Georgia Middle team.
Curtis McGee, their head coach, said our defense, they've been our backbone. They've carried us. They've been excellent. Our offense, it's taken some time to get in rhythm. Much a microcosm of the game today as that's broken up on the slant over the middle. They grew into the game. It took a little while to solve the Dallas defense.
The Dallas defense, they've done an excellent job in the first half. They were very effective in their blitz packages. They've got a couple of young men who are able to swallow up the interior of the defensive line, and their blitzes, I believe they confuse the Georgia Middle offensive line, but Georgia Middle, again, going to the weak side, has found success.
Williams' pass is incomplete. Looking for Jerry Outhouse on the outside. But good coverage there. Brian Hill again. He's had 2 big breakups in this game.
Georgia Middle, I want to call them the student section, but it's the opposite. The Georgia Middle parent section coming to life.
The GMP up there in the stands. They're sensing it. On 4th down, that pass is incomplete. It's going back over to Georgia Middle School. The team sensing it and letting the fans know. They're 4:35 away from a coronation. It is now 4th down coming up. Fourth and 14. Seems like this has been the primary distance all second half long for Trey Williams. It's picked off. Who else? Caden Dawson.
Caden Dawson has had himself a ball game. That young man has been everywhere. He's lined up at outside linebacker, lined up at edge, lining up in a bit of a safety position there. Comes up with the interception, and he has a touchdown today as well. Congratulations, Caden Dawson. You, sir, are on the map.
Chad, his coach, said he was made in a lab somewhere. I don't know, but
I don't know.
He does it all. He does it all. He's done it all
what
here
lab
today.
he was made in, Nilsika, but I was not made in that same lab. I can tell you that much.
We can only wish. Back in our youth careers. 4:25, and now in eat up the clock mode will go Georgia Middle School. That inside run goes for a couple. Collins Price.
Great thing about this now for Georgia Middle, again, as important as it is to win and to win national championships, at the end of the day, this will always be about experience. So if you're Georgia Middle, you can get some of the young men into the ball game who maybe have not played as much to this point. Let them get their hands on the ball as well.
Marinko sends Christian Wells in motion. Flag comes out. Well, if you love good defense, you saw it early. The only non-aesthetically pleasing part has been the flags, and it's been on both sides. Down to 3:29 remaining. Legal motion. It's been a call that's come up on a few occasions for GMSAA. The penalty. Now, as the Georgia Middle School bench was calling for the clock to keep running, not ready for play, it does. 3rd and 7. Marinko. Not going to get the snap off because of a false start.
Looking just to run the clock out, unable to do it thus far.
You'd like to think, if from Georgia Middle School's perspective, maybe needing one more first down to really start the celebration. 3rd and 12. With 3 minutes left. Curtis McGee's been a youth coach the last 7 years after a stint in pro ball. He's really loving the opportunity these kids had before them today.
As you are right, Neil, that play there will set up a 4th down. You've got to go into a punt here, which is a dangerous situation. We'll see if Dallas still has the energy to make a play.
Will Barton coming out to punt, and Dallas had a little deliberation before calling that timeout. 15 more seconds ran off. 2:22 left. 5 o'clock, the time of our 7th grade game kicking off here at the Paradise Coast Sports Complex. Had the 2020 edition of the FBU All-American Bowl last night. The stadium saw its first big game. It's going to see many through the years, and it's a youth sports, not just a youth football, but a youth sports paradise, Chad.
Youth sports paradise. What better place to be playing any game but football in December, right before Christmas, here along the Paradise Coast. It's going to be a destination for sports, all of them throughout the year as well. They're building something special here.
Will Barton standing at his own 29. It's 4th and 7. Maxwell Miles is back to receive the punt for Dallas. Barton gets it away.
Sika, did you see the job that Barton did to pull that snap down? That snap was hot.
There's a little bunny hop there.
It was hot. He got up, got his hands on it, got it down, and got it away. And that may serve as the game clincher. Excellent job by that young man.
So one little more moment in the sun for the Dallas offense, figuratively and literally, as they'll come out here with 2:12 left. Down 16-0, back-to-back drives. That's where Georgia Middle School made hay, late 3rd quarter, early 4th. But the defense has been stifling, stellar really, championship level.
We'll see if Trey Williams has time, if he can attempt to get one up. Georgia Middle cornerbacks wisely playing off of the receivers.
Trey Williams on the slant. Weathers couldn't hold on. Pass was a little low. Not only some of the plays in the passing game, you just wonder, Chad, how the dichotomy of this game and the flow would have went had Dallas scored on that opening drive.
On that opening drive, they had that momentum, and again, it would have been early.
Trey Williams shakes off a few would-be tacklers, launching it, it's picked. Second consecutive series with an interception. What a fine job in the air to bring that down. Jackson Pounds. And pound for pound, he's ready to celebrate with the big boys.
Great job. He got his name called. He made a big play on the Football University YouTube in the national championship game. Williams throws an interception there, but again, just a great job navigating the pocket, giving his receivers an opportunity. It's not completed, but that young man has played hard all game long, although it looks like Georgia Middle is going to come out on top.
It won't be the last time we hear, though, from these 6th graders that will be soon 7th graders for Dallas. Much like the grade above them that'll play later today, they look up to those guys, and a pretty good team in their own rights. We'll probably see back in Naples in the not-too-distant future. A couple of yards on that give, which is Collins Price, his brother Dalton on the team.
you know, the Georgia Middle coaches are happy for that young man as he gets his hands on the balls, but say, hey, young man, stay in bounds. Stay in bounds on that one.
That's not the direction they wanted him to take. There was some movement early. Pearson DeGella is getting some snaps now at quarterback for Georgia Middle School. It's only a matter of time now. Well, all the talk in that region, GFL this and GFL that, I'm sure these GMSAA youngsters, through the years, they've been tired of hearing about it, but now they're going to have their moment.
Well, and beyond that, to win a championship here, now you get to go back to your community and you get to say, hey, look, GFL is not the only place that you can win a title. If you got a choice, now there's a legit decision to be made.
That's an excellent point. Some Peachtree parity.
You got to love it in the Peach State.
90 seconds left. Ten-year anniversary of the very first FBU National Championship, which was 8th grade only in 2011. Celebrating a decade of fantastic youth football. This is the 8th edition of the 6th grade title. GMSAA ready to put it on ice. Another give for Collins Price.
Got that great 7th grade game coming up, man. I'm looking forward to that again. GFL against this Dallas team. That GFL team is loaded with all of the names that are already known on a national level. Julian Lewis, the quarterback of that squad, Chris Gant's team, but Dallas, they are ready to come up and stop the celebrations that GFL as a unit are looking to have today.
It's not often either we've seen, we're talking about the ascending three-peat, which the 8th graders can accomplish, but it's not often at one grade level you see 3 in a row. Now, go back to 2018 where there were co-champions across the board because of weather and a hurricane that was in the area. GFL putting their stamp last year in 7th grade, and now those 8th graders trying to bring it home. And you very well could have a situation if the 7th grade GFL team is to win, they'll be in position to do what this year's 8th graders are trying to accomplish.
And if they're able to pull it off this year, there's not much reason to believe that they won't be able to do just that. Just this GFL program. I want to give a shout out to Gary Dasher, team director, who is helping to put all of this together. Georgia really is the heartbeat of football at this point. I know that a lot of people in Florida would like to argue about that, but what they're doing is unprecedented. GFL already taking home the 10U championship. GMSAA looks like they're going to win this one, but then GFL going to contend for that 7th and that 8th. Neil Sika, we could have a situation in which all 4 divisions are won by Georgia programs.
Call the Mid-South the Master South. 54 seconds left. Trey Williams, some hope and aspirations of hitting a big play. A couple interceptions the last series. Going to get one more crack at it.
At this point, this Georgia middle defense wants nothing more than to be able to pitch a shutout.
On that pass out to the flat, they were already in hot pursuit.
Looked like Dallas wanted to set up a double pass there. Georgia middle not fooled.
Sean Edwards had the reception. and then look to throw, and that's dangerous in its own right with all those guys, and you don't catch it, it's a fumble. Now we're down to the final snap, perhaps. Maybe one time for 2 plays if they can get this one off quickly. This is lofted up, it's picked. It's Freedom Jones, and he's running to freedom. Taking it all the way back to put a bow on it. You can let freedom ring. Touchdown.
That is one heck of an exclamation point to put on this ball game. Georgia Middle School Athletic Association, they have come to Naples along the Paradise Coast, and Neil Sika, they're going to get it done.
It's a final. They finally climbed the mountain. Georgia Middle School wins the 6th grade FBU National Championship. It ends 22-0 off the pick 6 to cap it. A pick 6 for the 6th grade champs. 22-0 over Dallas.
Congratulations to those young men as we see the adulation, we see the energy, we see the excitement on their faces. I personally could not be happier for this team, for this community, for these parents, for these coaches. Georgia Middle, congratulations, gentlemen. You are no one's little brother.
In their 4th appearance, they finally have their first trophy. And at the starting grade level of these championships. So this team's gonna try and level up next year, as one would say, in 7th grade. Perhaps set for a 3-year run of success. But the first one is always the sweetest. Georgia Middle School, with a scoreless first half intact, really turned the screws in half number 2. Caden Dawson and the defense leading the way. They win it 22-0.
Great game played by that squad out there. The defense was strong all game long, Neil Sika. Like you said, after that opening drive, they were really able to tighten the screws and close the door on the Dallas offense.
See how our championship belt ceremony plays out. Both teams addressed by their head coaches. Georgia Middle School starts their celebration as 6th grade champs. First title at any grade level in program history. Now their fans and parents, more specifically, will make their way to the field. $22-0. I love it nowadays, Chad, regardless of level, collegiate, sometimes even pro, you line up for the trophy photo right away. TV's got to cut to commercial. You get in there and you show your glory.
We do live in a social media society now, Neil Sika. You know, everyone wants to get on camera. There's so many cameras around. You pose for it as quickly as possible.
Coming up at the top of the hour on this very same FBU National Championship YouTube stream, the 7th grade game featuring GFL and Dallas. So Dallas's 7th graders will try to take the spoils. GFL, if they win that, it would be their 8th overall title. They're tied with South Florida for the most national championship history, and that includes all grade levels. Well, we'll keep it here. You can listen in to the trophy presentation, should there be one. Chad and I will step away. We'll come back. We'll have the 7th grade game towards the top of the hour. We want to thank our crew and you for watching. 22-0 the final score. GMSAA wins the 6th grade national championship. For Chad Ricardo, I'm Neil Sika. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in a bit for the 7th grade FBU National Championship. From Naples, so long for now.